Upon their return from the man of God's house, Chief Rowland and Rose relayed every detail of his instructions to Patricia. Upon hearing this, Patricia suggested seeking help from another native doctor in a neighboring village. However, Chief Rowland adamantly refused, his frustration evident in his voice. "Enough of this nonsense, Patricia. Have you not seen our daughter suffer enough?" he exclaimed, his tone stern. "Please, just sit quietly and let us handle this." Because Rose was tired of the ongoing struggle, she spoke up, agreeing with her father's viewpoint. "I agree with Daddy, Mum. Aren't you tired of going to native doctors without finding a solution?" she asked, her voice expressing exhaustion. "I think it's time you turned to God for help." Feeling the weight of Rose's words and seeing the determination in Chief Rowland's eyes, Patricia felt a pang of regret. She realized how her stubbornness had contributed to their family's suffering over the years. She turned to Chief Rowland and spoke with sincerity. "I'm sorry, honey, for disobeying you all these years," she said, her voice tinged with remorse. "I should have listened to you sooner." Chief Rowland, moved by her apology and touched by her sincerity, softened his gaze. He reached out and gently took her hand, offering forgiveness. "It's okay, Patricia. We've all made mistakes," he replied, his voice filled with compassion. "What matters now is that we work together to find a solution for Rose." The next day, Rose and her father embarked on their journey to the city. After a long search, they finally located the address given to them. To their astonishment, the relative of the old woman turned out to be Anthony, Rose's ex-boyfriend, who had relocated to the city after their breakup. Both Rose and her father were shocked by this unexpected encounter, inquired how they had found him and why they were at his house. Immediately, Rose burst into tears, overcome with emotion. Chief Rowland, realizing the need for composure, urged her to stop crying. Turning to Anthony, he addressed him with sincerity. "My son, please forgive us. We are here to make amends." Confused by Chief Rowland's words, Anthony expressed his reluctance to accept Rose back into his life. "I can't be with someone who lies so much," he confessed. Chief Rowland intervened, explaining the circumstances that led them to Anthony's doorstep. Shocked by the revelation, Anthony listened intently. As the truth unfolded, Anthony's expression changed from confusion to disbelief. "So you're the girl Grandma spoke of," he remarked, recalling the elderly woman's tales. He revealed that despite their efforts to persuade her to live with them, she insisted on staying in her old hut, where she and her late husband had once lived together. Anthony explained that he was not in a position to forgive Rose. Instead, he suggested that she seek forgiveness from his father, revealing that the old woman Rose had humiliated was his father's biological mother. This revelation left Rose and Chief Rowland stunned, realizing the depth of the hurt Rose had caused and the long road to reconciliation ahead. Chief Rowland and Rose returned to the village feeling exhausted and disappointed, their hopes of finding a solution to Rose's problems dashed. As they walked through the familiar streets, a sense of frustration lingered in the air. However, they refused to give up. Upon arriving home, they gathered in the living room to discuss their next steps. Chief Rowland proposed a bold plan. They would visit Anthony's parents' house once more, but this time, Mrs. Patricia would accompany them. Patricia agreed, recognizing the urgency of the situation. With their plan in place, Chief Rowland, Rose, and Mrs. Patricia prepared themselves mentally for the task ahead. They understood that the road to reconciliation would not be easy, but they were determined to make amends and seek forgiveness for their daughter's past mistakes. When they arrived at Anthony's parents' house, they were greeted with warm embraces and genuine hospitality. Despite Chief Rowland's insistence that they were not there for a meal, Anthony's parents insisted and served them a sumptuous feast. After enjoying the delicious food, Rose, overwhelmed with emotion, knelt down and tearfully begged for forgiveness. To their surprise, Anthony's parents revealed that they had already forgiven her long ago. They explained that their son had informed them about the situation Rose was in, and they had decided to extend their forgiveness from that moment. Furthermore, they shared that Anthony himself had forgiven Rose and was willing to reconcile with her. This news brought tears of joy to Chief Rowland and his family. They expressed their heartfelt gratitude to Anthony's parents for their kindness and understanding. With a sense of relief and gratitude, Chief Roland, Rose, and Mrs. Patricia left Anthony's parents' house, feeling relieved and happy that their daughter is finally free. A few days after their visit to Anthony's house, Rose made a remarkable discovery. Her bedwetting problem had miraculously stopped. No longer did she face the embarrassment of wetting her bed, and she felt a newfound sense of freedom when venturing into public places. One day, Anthony called her with exciting news. He wanted to take her back and start afresh. This time, he proposed that Rose move in with him in the city so they could plan their wedding together. Overjoyed by the prospect of reuniting with Anthony and beginning a new chapter in her life, Rose eagerly accepted his proposal. She wasted no time in sharing the news with her parents, who were equally thrilled for her. With their blessings and support, Rose packed her bags and bid farewell to her old life in the village. Stepping into a future filled with hope and promise, she joined Anthony in the bustling city, ready to embark on a journey of love, forgiveness, and endless possibilities. As they settled into their new life together, Rose and Anthony began to plan their future with excitement and anticipation, from selecting a wedding venue to envisioning their dream home. In the busy week that followed her decision to move to the city with Anthony, Rose found herself caught up in the excitement of preparing for their upcoming wedding. Each day was filled with tasks and errands as they worked together to plan their special day. One sunny afternoon, while out running errands for the wedding, Rose bumped into her ex-husband, Dennis, unexpectedly. Surprised to see him in the city, she asked him what brought him there. Dennis explained that he had also recently moved to the city and congratulated Rose when he learned about her upcoming wedding. Rose, in turn, asked if Dennis was married, to which he replied that he was not. They exchanged numbers before parting ways, with Dennis expressing his desire to attend Rose's wedding. A couple of days later, Dennis contacted Rose and asked to meet her urgently at a nearby restaurant for an important discussion. Despite feeling uncertain, Rose agreed to meet Dennis, keeping the meeting a secret from Anthony. When she arrived at the designated location, she was surprised to find herself outside a hotel instead of a restaurant. Curious and somewhat nervous, Rose decided to go inside and meet Dennis. As Rose entered Dennis's hotel room, she wondered why he had called her there so urgently. She asked him what was going on, but Dennis couldn't give her a clear answer. Instead, he started talking about how much he missed her and how sorry he was for how things ended between them. His words made Rose feel sorry for him, and she found herself giving in to his emotions. Before she knew it, they were kissing, and she ended up in his arms on the bed. When Rose arrived home, Anthony asked why she had refused to answer his calls. She explained that her phone had been on silent and buried in her handbag. She apologized, and he forgave her. The day of their wedding finally came. As Rose sat for her makeup, a WhatsApp message shocked her. It contained pictures of her and Dennis in bed. She quickly excused herself and called Dennis, who burst out laughing, confessing he had sent the photos. Rose was stunned and asked why. Dennis explained he had lost his job a year ago and resorted to blackmailing married women for money by filming them in compromising situations. Rose couldn't believe it, but Dennis insisted her case was different. He didn't want money, just her love. He demanded she come to his hotel room immediately. Rose, furious, reminded him it was her wedding day. Dennis laughed, threatening to send the photos to her husband and post them on social media. Rose, realizing the seriousness, told her makeup artist she had an urgent matter and rushed to Dennis's hotel, her heart pounding with fear and anger. After their abominable act, Rose returned to her makeup artist, pretending nothing had happened, and they went on with the wedding. After her wedding, Dennis continued to demand her presence at his hotel, wearing her down with his relentless demands. Fed up, Rose finally stood her ground, refusing to comply any longer. She told Dennis she was done, daring him to do his worst, but the fear of her husband finding out about their illicit affairs loomed large in her mind, pushing her to reluctantly agree to pay him off. However, when Denis demanded more money just a month later, Rose reached her breaking point. Rose decided she had had enough. Determined to end Dennis's reign of terror once and for all, she concocted a plan to bring him down. She lured him to an uncompleted building under the pretense of meeting him. But this time, she was armed with a gun. As Dennis approached, unsuspecting, Rose confronted him with the weapon. With a steady hand and a heart filled with resolve, she fired 2 shots, striking him down before fleeing the scene in a desperate bid to escape the consequences of her actions. Rose returned home, her heart heavy with the weight of her actions. Yet she couldn't muster the courage to confide in anyone except her mother. Mrs. Patricia, sensing the gravity of the situation, urged Rose to maintain silence, cautioning her about the potential repercussions of speaking out. Days passed in anxious silence until one Saturday morning. As Rose and Anthony sat down for breakfast, a sudden knock on the door shattered the tranquility of the moment. Anthony, puzzled, answered the door to find 3 police officers standing there. They informed him that they were there to arrest Rose, detailing the allegations against her. Anthony was stunned, finding it difficult to believe that Rose could commit such a heinous act. As Rose was taken away by the police, tears streamed down her face, and Anthony could only watch in disbelief, unsure of what to do next. As days went by, Anthony couldn't shake off the feeling that something wasn't right about Rose's arrest. He dug deeper into the matter and uncovered evidence implicating Dennis in a string of similar crimes. With the help of Dennis's victims, they exposed his deceitful schemes. Armed with this newfound evidence, Anthony tirelessly fought for Rose's freedom. He rallied support from the community and legal experts, determined to clear her name. Finally, their efforts paid off. The truth about Dennis's actions came to light, vindicating Rose and paving the way for her release from jail. With tears of relief, Anthony embraced Rose as she walked out of the prison gates, their bond stronger than ever. Together, they faced the future with renewed hope and a deep appreciation for the power of justice and love. If you enjoyed this captivating story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And make sure you turn on your post notifications to be notified when we upload another exciting video. Your support means the world to us.